Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing? What's your name?
Savda. I'm from Toronto.
Toronto? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm working with someone who's from Toronto.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I filmed there for a little while a couple of years back and I loved it.
Yeah,
It's like,
you came for the MMVAs, right?
I'm sorry?
You came for the MMVAs, right? Like 2012 or
Oh, yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story? So like you were like there was an after party and you were there, and then we were like waiting outside to like meet you, but then the security guards are like, oh, like she's drunk, so, like she won't come to meet you guys, and like we were like so sad and like I don't know. We were like so close to meeting you, but like security said like you won't meet anyone and all that stuff. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Sometimes, sometimes that stuff is hard because either they usher us somewhere, or I mean, 99% of the time I get to meet my fans, but sometimes it just can't happen. So I'm sorry. I hate that.
It's okay. Um,
But now this is exciting. I think this is so cool. So thank you for being a part of this.
I
'Cause
was like debating on doing it yesterday, so I'm like, I would just rather do it than like, because like I think you're like my favorite in Twilight series, like the top, and I'm like I'd rather talk to you than like, cause I missed the chance like a couple years ago, so like I would just make it up.
yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That makes me so happy. Do you have any questions or?
Well, I'm on Insta Live, and people are like asking me to ask you like, which out of all like the movies of Twilight, which one was your favorite to film?
I think that the first one, Twilight, will always hold a special place in my heart because it was like honestly, it was one of the first films that I had like a bigger role in, and so for me, that was exciting. But it was where everything kind of developed. I got to create, how Alice was going to move and kind of form this bond with these people who are now like my family. So that was a really special experience for me. And then I think Breaking Dawn Part 2 was really really fun too because I'm
Yeah, I like
all
part
about
two.
fight sequences, and so when I read the fight sequence, I was like, oh yes. But
Yeah,
that was,
I
I
like
guess,
the
the
fight
first
scene.
and last.
The
It
fight
was
scene
kind
was
of
like
bitter.
my favorite part.
The fight sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really well done. We spent like 2 weeks doing that, doing
Oh
that whole
wow.
scene. Yeah, in this
Where
like
did you film? Like Vancouver?
most of them filmed in Vancouver. The first one started in Portland and Washington, and then we moved to Vancouver, and then we would go like we shot a cut like a week or two in Italy, and then we would shoot like a
Oh,
couple
wow.
weeks in
You're like all over the
Louisiana.
place.
Oh yeah, and when I found out I got to go to Italy, I was stoked. But yeah, mostly Vancouver, which is gorgeous.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you like read the books before you like got the role or like um
Yeah. So she was still writing them as we were filming them. So I read the first one right before I auditioned because they wouldn't give me a script or anything, and so I read it and fell in love with it the same way that like everyone else did. So that's getting